on the Woolstick River, we have high water for most of the month. And then about the third week in May, that water level starts to drop. That's when our summer students are hired and our field teams are out and we start our monitoring. At that time we start our monitoring, we can find cyanobacteria at the site, but it's often just a thin green color on the rocks, like very thin. And we watch the site weekly throughout the summer, and we watch that grow. And once it forms more of a carpet-like mat, we let environment know, because at that time it can get thick, lift off, and wash out.
Okay, so when you look at this right here, this is not what you think of when you think of algal bloom, right? You picture a kind of swampy, green person. Walking out there into that flowing part, I have rocks covered like this. So these rocks, before the water came up, would have just been at the edge and submerged. They may have even been exposed and dried up at some point. But this stuff right here is the mats I'm talking about. And they scrape and they lift away from the rocks with scouring. These things then can float and wash up on shorelines.
So that is a typical year. May we would start to see growth, and then by late June or early July we would see a liftoff event. That's what we call it when it's mature enough to disperse. But this year, as soon as we started our monitoring the third week in May, the same time of year we normally do, when I came out, there were already mats washing up on shore as I arrived at the boat launch, and we already had a thick carpet-like bloom here that I normally wouldn't see for at least another month, if not 6 weeks.
Yeah, see, look at that peeling right from the bottom, right there.
So if you look at the water, it's just like now, it's clear, flowing waters. So it's not an area that you typically think of a bloom, but if you know what to look for, when you see that mat and you look at the water, your water would still be clear, but you would not see spaces among the rocks because it's on the bottom, just like a carpet. So early May, for instance, the tops of the rocks may be greenish in color, and then if I came back out in end of June, I wouldn't even see individual rocks. That algal growth would link between the rocks and form a bloom. That's when you're looking at not just where it's growing, but where it's ending up and where people and their dogs may encounter it. In Fredericton, we have an extensive trail system along the water. We have lots of public access points. And that's why it's really important that people are aware of what this is and know to look for it.